What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Crypto Sherpa channel, where I read you those cryptocurrency news articles just to keep you informed on what's going on in the crypto space. And yeah, it's going to be a quick video. Sorry again for being late. Just another busy day here at the Crypto Club. Appointments, meetings, just learning about crypto. So much great things happening here. If you want more, check out our website. If you want to check out our programs, go to bbccprograms.com or text us at 941-413-6920. Now, this has to be a quick show. I got about 5 articles for you because we have our Tuesday and Thursday's classes that go on here at the club at 1:30, so I gotta rush through this since I'm late. But the title said, don't be like Germany, because they missed out on, what was it, $2.3 billion of potential profit. Like last, what was it, is it 2024, 2023, when Bitcoin was like down at $54,000, Germany sold their reserve. And I was like, when I covered that article, I was just like why are you selling it right now? This is peak bull run. And now because of it, we actually have numbers on like how much they missed out on because they sold and didn't hodl. So this is just a little, not example. Yeah, it's an example on why you should just hodl dollar cost average, because you could be missing out when it comes to Bitcoin. So let's hear about how they missed out on $2.3 billion after selling at 57K. So yeah, so the German government sold its Bitcoin stash in the summer of 2024, which became a $2.3 billion missed opportunity for Europe's largest economy. That's right. The German government missed out on more than $2 billion worth of Bitcoin profit after selling its holdings in 2024, according to a blockchain intelligence firm, Arkham. Now, a German government, the BKA, labeled cryptocurrency wallet that sold 49,858 Bitcoin, worth over $2.89 billion at an average price of $57,900 across multiple transactions during June and July of 2024. Now, the decision to sell the Bitcoin earlier cost the German government over $2.35 billion, according to the Crypto Intelligence platform. And yep, so here's a chart showing where they sold it, and here we're at now. So total missed opportunity. Don't follow the mainstream media, because they're going to tell you, oh, Bitcoin's dead, it's going to go down. But if you follow actually the news that I'm covering, it's like, whoa, Bitcoin's doing that. New Hampshire and Arizona passed the pro-Bitcoin law. That distillery accepting Bitcoin payment stake and shake. It's like there's so much adoption out there. It's like, dude, the price is going to go up. But if they had held it, their Bitcoin would have been now worth $5.24 billion, said Arkham. That was in a May 19th X post, noting that Bitcoin has risen more than 80% since that sell. Now, at the time of publication, Bitcoin was trading at more than 104,700. We've been seeing like 106, like 105 right now, hovering, still 104. Like, we are so close to breaking all-time highs, and I think we could see it again soon. Now, the German government labeled wallet first raised speculation of potential sell-offs on June 19, 2024, when it executed a 6,500 Bitcoin transfer worth over $425 million. Now, the wallet originally held around 50,000 Bitcoin and believed to have been seized from the operators of the movie 2K, a now defunct pirate film site. Now, the German government rushed sales to maximize liquidity. Now, the wallet selling patterns points to hasty transactions that weren't optimized for smallest market impact and best profitability, according to Miguel Moro, founder of Arkham Intelligence. Now, the last thing I would have expected is that they would just go to 5 different exchanges and start market selling, Moro told Cointelegraph during an interview at EthCC 2024, adding that the fact that they are going to so many different exchanges just reads like they're just trying to get as much liquidity from each order book as possible. Now, the reports surrounding the German government's Bitcoin liquidation may have contributed more to Bitcoin's downtrend than the volume of it sold. So yeah, I kind of show that there was a downward trend when they did announce that, but we spiked right back up. But Bitcoin's price recovered above the $60,000 psychological mark on July 14th, a day after the German government labeled the wallet ran out of BTC, putting an end to the investors' uncertainty about further selling pressure. So yeah, so there was like pressure going like, oh, like, are they still going to sell? But once they ran out, it's like, well, they can't sell anything else. They don't got any more Bitcoin. So that little dip right there for the selling pressure just kind of like halted right there. But they should not have sold. They would have been so much better if only they knew, right? But they'll probably be back in and now at a higher price, because again, everyone's adopting crypto and Bitcoin, especially just Bitcoin. Everyone's adopting Bitcoin, so they are going to be back at the price they deserve, and that's how we always have a little saying in there for it. So that's our German news. Or actually, it's not just our Germany news. We have another article revolving around Germany, because Tether surpasses Germany's $111 billion of U.S. Treasury holdings. So Tether just surpassed Germany in this aspect too. So Tether's U.S. Treasury holdings and gold reserve helped the stablecoin issuer absorb the downside volatility of the cryptocurrency market during the first quarter of 2025. Now, Tether, the 151 billion stablecoin issuance giant, has surpassed Germany and United States Treasury bill holdings, showcasing the benefits of a diversified reverse strategy that has helped the firm navigate the volatility of the cryptocurrency market. Now, Tether, issuer of the world's largest stablecoin, USDT, has surpassed Germany's $111.4 billion worth of U.S. Treasuries data from the U.S. Department of Treasury. And here's what that shows it. So we got United States, China, Cayman Islands. Where's Germany on that list? Germany is at the very bottom and showcasing, they hold 111.4 Treasury bonds. But Tether has surpassed $120 billion worth of Treasury bills, and the firm shared in its attestation report for the first quarter of 2025 that makes Tether the 19th largest entity among all countries in terms of T-bill investments. Now, this milestone not only reinforces the company's conservative reserve management strategy, but also highlights Tether's growing role in distributing dollar-denominated liquidity at scale, wrote Tether in a report. Now, during a 2024, Tether was the seventh largest buyer of U.S. Treasuries across all countries, surpassing Canada, Taiwan, Mexico, Norway, Hong Kong, and numerous other countries out there. And that was reported on, and here we see that chart. Tether was the seventh largest in 2024, just behind Cayman Islands, France, Luxembourg, Belgium, Singapore, and United Kingdom. Then you got Canada and all these other countries beneath it. Now, treasuries are debt securities issued by the government, considered some of the safest and most liquid investments available worldwide. Now, Tether invests in treasuries as an additional reserve asset for its US dollar peg stablecoin. Now, Tether's treasury gold portfolio almost offset crypto market volatility losses for quarter one. Tether's traditional reserve asset helped the stablecoin giant weather the downside volatility of the crypto market during the first quarter of 2025, and Tether reported over $1 billion in operating profit from traditional investments during the first quarter of the year, driven by solid performance in its U.S. Treasury portfolio. Now, while the performance of gold has almost offset the volatility in crypto markets, according to the firm's attestation report, growing clarity around U.S. stablecoin regulations could lead to more investments in Tether's dollar-denominated stablecoin, part of which will be used to further boost the firm's treasury reserves. Now, the industry is currently awaiting progress on two pieces of legislation for the Stablecoin Transparency and Accountability for a Better Ledger Economy Act. It currently awaits schedule for debate and floor vote in the House of Representatives after it passed the House Financial Services Committee on April 2nd in a 32-17 vote. However, the Guiding and Establishing National Innovation for U.S. Stablecoins, or GENIUS Act, stalled on May 8th after failing to gain support from key Democrats and some who voiced concerns about U.S. President Donald Trump's potential financial interest in clear crypto relations due to his family's digital asset revenue. And now that GENIUS Act, though, is about to get pushed forward again, which is what we're going to cover in the next article. But on May 14th, at least 60 of the top crypto founders gathered in Washington, D.C. to support the GENIUS Act, which seeks to establish collateralized guidelines for stablecoin issuers and requires full compliance with anti-money laundering laws. So as we got some more stablecoin regulations in there, then more people would push for it, and then they would probably either go into Tether, they might either go into USDC, which is the second largest, and then beneath that, I guess the competing coins would be Trump's World Liberty Finance's USD1 coin or Ripple's RLUSD stablecoin. So those are like the top stablecoins out there, but with more clear regulations on the stablecoin market, we'll probably see a lot more influence into USDT Tether just because it's the highest market cap one out there. And we'll probably see it pass a couple more of these countries than Treasury holdings. So Now let's continue on and learn a little bit more about the GENIUS Stablecoin Act, where we are at it. It did have a halt, but now it just passed the bill and moves on to its next stage in voting. So legislation to regulate stablecoins has passed through another congressional hoop on its path to becoming law. The Guiding and Establishing National Innovation of U.S. Stablecoins Act passed in a 66-32 Senate vote on May 20th. The motion to invoke closure on the motion to proceed to the consideration of the GENIUS Act has passed, reported by Fox's Eleanor Terrett. Now, she added that more than 15 Democrats flipped their votes from no to yes, but Senator Minority Leader Chuck Schumer voted no. Now, the passage has cleared a key procedural hurdle after Democratic senators initially blocked the bill earlier in May, and this vote to invoke cloture, I feel like they're trying to say closure, but cloture, a procedural motion that limits debate on a matter and requires a supermajority vote, now sets up the bill for floor debate. Now here's Dennis Porter. He's been on the Bitcoin Bench Show a couple times with a few interviews. He's a great advocate for Bitcoin, but he tweeted out saying, breaking news, Genius Bill passes through cloture vote with 60 votes. So yeah. Now, the stablecoin regulation moves forward. So the Genius Act was introduced by Senator Bill Hagerty in February with the goal of regulating the $248 billion stablecoin market. And the legislation would require stablecoins to be fully backed and undergo regular scrutiny audits and receive approval from federal or state regulators. Now, it restricts the issuance to licensed entities and impose limitations on algorithmic stablecoins and those without full backing. So this groundbreaking bipartisan legislation will bring America's payment system into the 21st century, said Senator Hagerty on X. He also added that it will ensure U.S. dollar dominance and protect customers. He also predicted that the demand for U.S. treasuries will balloon to the tune of more than $1 trillion, and innovation in the digital asset space will thrive in the United States going forward. Now, digital assets are the future, and now we're one step closer to ensuring that America leads the way, said Senator Cynthia Lummis. And then here is a tweet from Bill Hagerty. Tonight, the Senate moved forward on the Genius Act. This is groundbreaking. It's a bipartisan legislation. Will bring America's payments into the 21st century. And the Genius Act skyrockets the United States with a digital payment framework with fastest rails possible. So, yeah, so this is good news for America if they do it. Now, Democratic senators had previously withdrawn support, citing concerns about potential conflicts with President Trump's crypto investment and anti-money laundering concerns. However, legislation was subsequently revised to secure enough bipartisan support to move forward. Now it heads to the floor where the Senate will engage in a formal debate on the bill to discuss its merits and propose amendments and express concerns. Now there is urgency urged by Lummis out there. Senator Lummis indicated that she hopes to complete this process by May 26th on Memorial Day, which is this coming up Monday, suggesting an accelerated timeline for the remaining procedural steps. Now, the stablecoin market is currently dominated by Tether, which has a commanding 61% market share with 151 billion USDT in circulation, and its close rival Circle has 24% market share with just over 60 billion USDC issued. And in April, related legislation of the Stablecoin Transparency Accountability for Better Ledger Economy Act was passed by the House Financial Service Committee. So that one's going to get progressed further too. So hopefully one or even both of these become law, and then that will see definitely more increase in the crypto space. So yeah, so let's keep stressing urgency to our politicians, our senators, let them know we want this, and that's just how we can help out. So that is all of our stablecoin news, our Germany news, how they missed out. And now let's move on to JP Morgan back in the news. Yesterday, I covered an article of him saying that he was mentioning that Bitcoin will surpass gold. He just sees it coming. And now we got him saying that his banks will allow clients to start buying Bitcoin. So what's happening? I think they allowed it one time for his high-end clients out there. But now this is saying that all clients will be allowed to buy Bitcoin through a platform. But again, guys, he's already been so wishy-washy. Just still buy your Bitcoin from other places and make sure you take self-custody of it in your own crypto wallet. Never leave it on exchange or keep it in the bank. That's just numero uno. But let's hear a little bit more about this decision he made. So the well-known critic of the biggest cryptocurrency market cap said Monday that his bank would allow customers to buy Bitcoin. So JP Morgan boss Jamie Dimon said on Monday that his bank will allow its customers to buy Bitcoin, the latest sign of the bank's increased openness to the asset. Despite Dimon's years of criticizing the largest crypto market by value and digital assets more widely. Now, in remarks during the investment bank's Investor Day, Dimon said that JP Morgan clients would soon be able to buy Bitcoin, although the bank wouldn't custody it. Now, we're going to allow you to buy it, Dimon said at the bank's annual Investor Day on Monday, and we're not going to custody it. We're going to put it in a statement for clients. Now, the pronouncement represents a pivot for JP Morgan and wider embrace of the traditional financial world that once shunned Bitcoin. Dimon has been particularly critical of Bitcoin, saying at one point that the biggest digital coin's true use case was criminal. So, I know he said this back in the day. So, seeing these changes, it's not the first time we've seen him flip case. He said he was for Bitcoin. He said he's against it. Now we're back for it again. So he's been wishy-washy on this. But the billionaire banker has also called Bitcoin a fraud and last year described it as a pet rock before telling journalists he shut it down if he could. Now, I've always been opposed to crypto, Bitcoin, etc., he said in 2023. But now, likely due to clients' demand, the bank will allow customers to buy it, Dimon said. So just because people wanted it, he's like, okay, fine, we'll offer it to you guys. Because again, we have a crypto-friendly president, changes are being made. So he's kind of going to biting his tongue out. I don't know. He's like, oh, fine, let's just do it. Like, get these people to buy it. But he just knows it's because he can't collect more of it now. Because we all know that banks were acquiring it in the background. Sure, we don't know their wallets, but we just know they were doing it because you got to get in it early. Otherwise, you're going to be left behind. But other top U.S. banks are also offering crypto-related products. Morgan Stanley's boss, Ted Pick, said in January that the bank would work with regulators to see how they could offer crypto safety, and said in January that it would allow financial advisors to pitch some spot Bitcoin exchange-traded funds to qualified customers. Like I said, yeah, I mentioned that. It's like it's only qualified customers, but now this time it's going to be for all. But despite criticizing Bitcoin itself, Diamond, who's been CEO of the world's largest investment bank since 2006, has praised blockchain technology, and the bank has used the technology for its own projects. Now, U.S. regulators are now taking a more relaxed approach to the space since crypto-friendly Donald Trump became president last year. And under the new commander-in-chief, the Securities and Exchange Commission in January rescinded the Staff Accounting Bulletin, or SAB number 121, a bill that prevented banks from custodying digital assets. So here we go. So that's also why we're getting all these banks saying, okay, we're going to accept Bitcoin now, because we reversed that Biden-era rule of the SB number 121, because that stopped banks from custodying Bitcoin or digital assets out there. So now that that's gone, we're seeing all these institutions now saying, oh yeah, we'll start allowing our customers to buy it because there's no rule against it anymore. So we're finally seeing some changes happen in it, and then also because of this, once it really starts happening, there's more crypto purchases, Bitcoin's scarce, it's getting harder to buy. And then soon all these people are going to have rules on there and how much you can move, take out. So that's why self-custody is so important. But yeah, so that's our JB Diamond news, like allowing banks to do it. So, okay, Chase, are going to reopen my bank account now? I kid. But yeah, so that's our JP Morgan news on getting more involved in Bitcoin. Now let's look at our next article from Bitcoin Magazine. It involves the Fold card. This is the prepaid debit card we like recommending to our clients here at the Bitcoin Bank Crypto Club. It's just a prepaid card that you earn Bitcoin back. And so it's a great way to add Bitcoin, stack sats without actually having putting more money into it, because it's a prepaid card. You get a little bit of money, you spend it at the grocery store, you spend it at the gas station for bills, and like you're spending that money anyways, might as well get Bitcoin back rather than use a credit card and get cash back, because that's just losing its value. But it looks like the Fold app, though, is unveiling a new feature where they're going to be offering Bitcoin gift cards. That's right. So they are pioneering Bitcoin in the U.S. retail gift card market now. So Fold is a leading Bitcoin financial service company, recently announced the launch of its Bitcoin gift card, marking the first step in integrating Bitcoin into the $300 billion U.S. retail gift card market. Now, this innovative product enables consumers to purchase and gift Bitcoin through familiar retail channels. It is available now at Fold's website and is expected to expand to major retailers nationwide throughout the year. Now, the Fold Bitcoin gift card allows users to acquire Bitcoin for personal savings or as a gift redeemable via the Fold app. Now, once you buy that gift card, you can give it to someone or use it yourself. Now, you open the Fold app, your Bitcoin appears, said Will Reeves, the chairman and CEO of Fold, in an interview with Bitcoin Magazine, and it's available initially at the Fold website. The product will soon reach physical and online retail shelves, bringing Bitcoin to everyday shopping experiences. So yeah, you can buy gift cards for people. They load it up on their Fold app, and boom, they got their Bitcoin. So now they're going to have like those cards out there in the retail. You're going to go to Target, Walmart. I'm just using examples. They're going to hit the retail market. But when you see like all those gift cards out there, you got Starbucks, you got Taco Bell, Wendy's. Oh, a Bitcoin Fold app. We're going to be seeing people are being see Bitcoin in their face now even more often. But this launch positions Fold as a trailblazer in making Bitcoin accessible through gift cards, the most popular gift in America. They said, we're now talking about Bitcoin gift cards on sale on the racks of the largest retailers in the country. You can pick up Bitcoin at the checkout line, buy it for yourself, or share it as a gift, Reeves told Bitcoin Magazine. Now, the gift card is a white Bitcoin bee adorned by vibrant orange, taps into the retail market's demand for alternative assets following the success of Costco's $200 million monthly gold sales. Now, here's what that gift card is going to look like. So yeah, you got the giant bee logo, the beautiful orange color bee, and powered by Fold. And so it just looks like every other gift card out there. Now, Fold's partnership with Totus, a gift card issuance provider, enables distribution through over 150,000 points of sales nationwide. Now, in our announcement, we referenced one of our partners who has direct distribution into all primary retailers in the country. Reeves said, while specific retailer names will be revealed later, Fold plans to expand throughout 2025, ensuring Bitcoin's presence in stores like grocery chains and gas stations throughout the rest of the year. Now, we'll announce distribution partners, including some of the largest retailers in the U.S. Reeves added. Now, the Bitcoin gift card targets millions of Americans curious about Bitcoin but hesitant to navigate apps or exchanges. This gift card gives us distribution directly to millions of Americans who may not be buying Bitcoin because they haven't downloaded a new app, don't have a brokerage account, or even haven't seen the ETF. So Reeves explained, by leveraging trusted retail channels, Fold is opening a new avenue for Bitcoin adoption. Now, since 2019, Fold has empowered over 600,000 users with the Bitcoin-based financial tools, holding over 1,485 Bitcoin in its treasury. Now, they said, I think there's a real chance by the end of 2025 that Bitcoin becomes the most popular gift in America because of this card, Reeves pictured. So not bad. So I think this is going to be great for Bitcoin. Again, Bitcoin's just getting out to the world. Like, everyone knows about Bitcoin. They know the name. They've heard of it. They may have their own opinion on still what they think of it. But when they still keep seeing it just get blasted into the real world now, because again, like I was mentioning earlier, we have Steak and Shake accepting Bitcoin purchases that happened over the weekend. Saw a lot of photos on X, people showcasing their support for it. I covered an article yesterday about this wine or this liquor distillery out there that's now accepting Bitcoin for payments and on their treasury. Now we're going to have gift cards just blasted in front of them. It's like Bitcoin is here. It's in their face and they can't escape it anymore. So only thing you can do is just start buying it as easy as possible. It's like, oh, here's the gift card. There you go. I got it. So this was pretty cool. Way to go, Fold. I love that we're even partners with you guys here at the Bitcoin Bank Crypto Club. So yeah, so this is awesome. So keep up the great work. And now, lastly in the news, I want to cover this one on why does Jack Dorsey want Bitcoin's name to be rebranded? So yeah, so it's not Bitcoin being rebranded, it's Satoshi he wants to get rid of. Now, we all know a Satoshi is the smallest unit of Bitcoin out there. It's 1/100th of a millionth of it. So it's 100 million Satoshis is equal to 1 Bitcoin. So they want to change that name to just Bitcoins, I guess. So yeah, Bitcoin developers and diehards alike are debating on a proposed change that would change Bitcoin's base unit and impact how Bitcoin is perceived. So a divisive proposal to rebrand Bitcoin's base unit is gaining momentum on social media after Twitter. Now, longtime Bitcoin bull Jack Dorsey shared support on Sunday, racking up more than 1 million views collectively on the post promoting the BIP 177. Now, authored by software developer John Carvalho, the Bitcoin improvement proposal entitled Redefine Bitcoin's Base Unit seeks to do just that by shifting the way the coin's quantities are displayed, removing the decimal point and leaving zeros in the process. Currently, a Bitcoin is made up of 100 million Satoshis, or sats, named after the cryptocurrency's pseudonymous creator, Satoshi Nakamoto. Now, as Bitcoin has surged in value, currently worth more than 105,000 per coin, some proponents believe that it'll become less appealing or useful as spending. Now, here's that tweet from Jack. Now, this sats are so confusing people just getting into Bitcoin. Bits or Bitcoin is better. Just Bitcoin is best is what he's saying. So yeah, instead of having sats, Bitcoin can be a little bit more easier to understand. But sats is definitely the wrong term and is stopping every day people from acquiring and spending Bitcoin. Dorsey wrote on X, and in another reply, he added, I'm very worried about Bitcoin becoming money. It must. Now, this proposal aims to help address the matter by reframing Satoshis as Bitcoin itself, and then referring to a full current Bitcoin as a BTC, aka the coin's current ticker. So for example, if BIP 177 was widely adopted, then the quantity of 0.00002525 Bitcoin would be just labeled as 2,525 Bitcoins. So that will get some getting used to, that's for sure. So that's about $2.66 worth of Bitcoin at the current price. But BIP 177 is sincere effort to provide works to ultimately empower users. Carvalho, the CEO of Bitcoin software and service company Synonym, told Decrypt that many want to speculate that I'm trying to solve units bias or appealing to normies, but I'm not evangelical, typical type of Bitcoiner. Now, the proposal itself suggests that such a shift would be in line with the original Bitcoin code and the framing Bitcoin only in the form of full units, with decimal points used to represent smaller or partial Bitcoin amounts is just the way that people opted to present it. Now, the current convention defines 1 Bitcoin as 100 million base units, and this representation requires dealing with 8 simulated decimal places, which can be confusing and foster the misconception that Bitcoin is inherently decimal-based, reads the BIP 177. Now, in reality, Bitcoin's ledger represents values as integral base units. The decimal point is merely a human-imposed abstraction. Now, beyond Dorsey, an outspoken Bitcoiner who once called the cryptocurrency's white paper poetry, The proposal has attracted other supporters as well. We got Bob Bodley, the CEO of Bitcoin meme coin launchpad Odin.fun, thinks the proposal makes a lot of sense. Now, rebranding Satoshis to Bitcoins honestly makes a lot of sense, Bodley told Decrypt, citing that the role that the unit bias played in the rise of Solana meme coins and the ease of which users can extrapolate their gains if the tokens just make it to $1. Now, here is the vote I think he posted on out there. Should Bitcoin's price? No, wait, no, that was just something completely else. But Bodley acknowledged that a proposal isn't necessary for the Bitcoin community to adopt such changes, and that doing so without formal action would be his top preference. But a past BIP would make it more official, widespread, and when I think about a proposal like this from a mainstream adoption perspective, said Bodley, it's kind of a no-brainer to me. Now, the proposal has gone through rounds of feedback in its original BIP pull request and via the Bitcoin dev mailing list to reach its current state. Now, Cavallo told Decrypt that support picked up this week with Dorsey's public push increasing interest in the proposal significantly. Now, Decrypt reached out to Dorsey for comment, but did not receive an immediate response. But these events help make people more comfortable with earnestly considering the idea, said Carvalho. This week, there's a lot more support, but also a lot of people defending sats and fighting against straw man's narratives. The loudest detractors are doing a rally the troops thing to show tribal solidarity, but that isn't something I can worry about. The proposal is entirely rational, thus difficult to refute, so instead we get emotional displays. Carvalho suggested that the new Bitcoin unit rebranded Satoshis could potentially be represented by a fresh ticker, suggesting a bit as an option. It echoes chatter on social media about calling the units bits or bits of Bitcoin, the latter which Dorsey mentioned. Now, here was his tweet. 1 Bitcoin is this, there's that. Now, B would be 1 Bitcoin at 1 cent. There's only 2.1 quadrillion, so that's his math on what would be easier to see. But aside from defending Satoshis and their connection to Bitcoin's creator, one of the loudest rallying cries against the proposal is the narrative contradiction that comes if individuals are led to believe there are now 21 quadrillion Bitcoin instead of just the currently understood and widely championed fixed total supply of 21 million Bitcoin. Now, it destroys the entire understanding of the 21 million max supply. It destroys 15 plus years of education where it explained that the 1/100th of a Bitcoin is called a Satoshi podcast. And it was hosted by Brian Cranston. $1 equals 100 cents. 1 Bitcoin equals 100 million Satoshis. It's not that difficult. Now, other detractors noted that the proposed shift would cause mass confusion and is merely preying on its unit bias. But those concerns don't appear to faze the proposal's author. Max is like, it took 16 years for people to understand the beautiful scarcity that is Bitcoin, but 2.1 quadrillion Bitcoin fails to deliver the scarcity message and create mass confusion, and I kind of agree with that. But the BIP does not change anything about Bitcoin scarcity itself, said Carvalho. The notion that Bitcoiners would suddenly stop reminding everyone how scarce Bitcoin is, it's absurd. No. I think people noting that this BIP might also correct unit bias and have much a more defensible argument, but neither of them is a great on its own, and describing it clearly and accurately cultivates stronger Bitcoin understanding and thus a more valuable Bitcoin for everyone overall. Now, as for the next steps, he told Decrypt that he believes the best course of action is to just give it some time to grow on people while gaining support from others in the Bitcoin ecosystem. Now, I don't want to be overly persuasive or force anything, Carvalho said, but Bitcoiners are stubborn anytime BIP 177 is inevitable anyway. So he's thinking it's going to be happening all the time, but I agree with him. Bitcoiners are pretty stubborn. Like, just try to get a maximalist, like to mention another altcoin out there. It's like, oh, no, it's crap. It's not going anywhere. It's nothing. There's no point. Bitcoin can do it better. So they can be a little stubborn out there, but I can say that. But I'm more for the let's leave it at Satoshis. I agree. It's like we've been spending these last 16 years just telling people this is what 1 Satoshi is in Bitcoin's eyes. Bits can kind of make it confusing. You got 2,992 bits, and it's like, oh, how much Bitcoin is that? Oh, you still going to the conversion for them. Oh, yeah, that's like 0.0000. So I think there would be a confusion, but again, it wouldn't stop people from saying how scarce Bitcoin is. So it's only 21,000. If you want to break it apart for how small it can be, it can break it up to this. But that is it. So what do you guys think? Should Bitcoin's smallest unit of Satoshis be changed, or should we keep it the same? What are your thoughts on it? I'd love to hear. But that's it for all the news I got for you. Let's take a look at the Fear and Greed Index as always as we end the show, because I got to get to our crypto class. Fear is at 71 right now. We're still at 26. If I click refresh, let me just see, make sure that changes. Nope, we're at 68 and 24 now for those choices. Bitcoin's at 106,000. Let's keep going up. Yeah. So woo. So yeah, guys, that's it for the show. I gotta rush to our next video class going on right now. So everyone have a fantastic day, and I'll be back tomorrow again, hopefully at noon and not late. Again, I've been running late this week, but hopefully tomorrow I'll be on time to bring you that crypto news. So take care. Love ya. Peace.
In a world where your data is constantly under attack, one company stands for your digital freedom. Introducing Calyx Solutions, your gateway to ultimate online privacy and secure cryptocurrency trading. Meet the Liberty Laptop. With its modified OS and advanced tracking prevention, it's your shield against surveillance. Access restricted areas, use recommended security software, and browse with confidence. Your digital footprint? Virtually non-existent. For the crypto pros, we present the Crypto Laptop. Pre-configured on premium hardware for secure trading. Optimized for your favorite wallets and exchanges, it's the fortress your digital assets deserve. Both laptops come with expert individual training and support. You're never alone in your journey to digital empowerment. At Calyx Solutions, we put you in control. No more worrying about data breaches or compromised transactions. Ready to join the revolution? Visit calyxsolutions.io and choose your perfect laptop today. Plus, become an affiliate and earn while sharing the power of digital freedom. Calyx Solutions. Unlock your digital freedom. Give us a call or text at 702-845-8276 or visit us directly at calyxsolutions.io.